thinking about buying a home in Charleston? Let me stop you right here because there are 5 types of homes I need you to know about before you fall in love with that porch swing and pretty paint. I'm talking about the kind of homes that look sweet on the outside but can leave your bank account and sanity hanging by a thread. Let's keep your move to Charleston exciting, not expensive. Hi, I'm Shakeima Chatman with the Chatman Realty team with Keller Williams Realty, your Charleston Relocation Specialist. I was born and raised here in Charleston, and I help folks like you relocate to Charleston without falling for the banana peel of real estate that trip up so many folks who buy here. Because around here, what you don't know can cost you a whole lot more than what you planned for. Charleston is full of charm, no doubt, but some of these homes, ooh, child, they come with secret. From flood risks to funky crawl spaces, it's my job to help you spot the red flags before you get the keys and a headache. So let's talk about the 5 types of homes in Charleston that you should be extra cautious about when you're shopping. So the first type of home you want to be cautious of is homes over 50 years old. Charleston's older homes have so much personality, and let's be honest, who doesn't love a little historic charm? But that charm can come with a long list of expensive surprises if you're not careful. Most homes built before 1970 in the Charleston metro area still have galvanized steel pipe, which corrode over time and can restrict water flow. Stain fixtures, or worse, leak from the inside out. Replacing an entire plumbing system can cost thousands of dollars depending on the size of the house. Then there's the knob and tube wiring or outdated aluminum wiring. These systems just weren't made for today's needs, like your phone, laptop, your air fryer, and your hair dryer all going at once. Homes where these systems may not pass inspections without upgrades, and then there could be a fire hazard if overloaded. Let's not forget asbestos, still found in old floors, insulation, and popcorn sealant. It's only dangerous when disrupted, but guess what most homeowners do right after closing? Tear out stuff. If asbestos abatement is needed, you could be looking at $5,000 to a $15,000 bill. Then there's the foundation. Charleston sits on a mix of clay soil and sand, and with a high water table, you'll see things like sloping floors, cracked plaster, and doors that won't shut. Foundation issues may require push piers, leveling, or even structural re-engineering, costs that can soar into the tens of thousands. Before you make an offer, ask for permit history, upgrade records for plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roof, and foundation work. A thorough inspection, including specialized tests for asbestos and lead paint. And if it's been lovingly updated, great. If not, that deal can drain your renovation budget fast. The next kind of home you want to be leery of is a home in an extreme flood zone. Charleston is a coastal city, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But living near the water also means living in a flood risk. Much of the metro sits at low elevations, and we get about 48 inches of rain per year. Add hurricanes and tropical storms, and that's a lot for older homes to handle. If the home is in a special flood zone area like Zone AE or VE, you'll be required to carry flood insurance, and it's not cheap. FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0 has increased rates based on elevation and proximity to water, with some premiums jumping by thousands. Some homes may have affordable premiums, but others, especially those that haven't been elevated, could cost $3,000 to $6,000 per year, and that's before you factor in rising sea levels. Even worse, we flood on king tide days when the sun is shining. That street you saw in the listing might be ankle deep next week. Flooding like this can damage landscaping, electrical systems, flooring, drywall, and even your HVAC. So what do you need to do? Pull the FEMA flood map to understand your zone. Ask for an elevation certificate to determine the risk and the insurance costs. Get a flood quote for insurance before making an offer, and be sure it reflects full replacement value. Water views are lovely, just don't let your wallet drown. The third kind of home you don't want to buy is a home with a crawl spaces. Crawl spaces are common in Charleston, especially in older homes or flood-prone areas, but they require serious maintenance. In our humid, rainy climate, crawl spaces are prone to standing water and moisture, which leads to mold and mildew. Mold and mildew, which can trigger allergies or worsen asthma. Termite activity and wood rot, which can damage your home structure and require expensive repairs. And if there's no vapor barrier or drainage, you might be looking at thousands in repair. A simple moisture issue can lead to full subfloor and joist replacements. South Carolina is in a high-risk termite zone, and they love to feast on untreated wood joists in wet crawl spaces. If the termite bond isn't active or the crawl space hasn't been inspected, you can inherit a very costly mess. Ask, has it been inspected, and if so, when? Is there a moisture or pest control system? Has it ever flooded? Has any mold remediation been done? A good inspector should crawl in and give you a full report. Don't skip this part. It's one of the most common sources of hidden damage in Lowcountry home. The next kind of home you need to be wary of is a bad house flip. We've seen lots of investor activity in Charleston, and some flips are beautiful, but others not so much. Some flippers focus on cosmetics, paint, flooring, backsplash, but skip plumbing, electrical, or HVAC. Worse, they may not pull permits. What looks fresh on the surface might be covering up a house with a 20-year-old water heater, leaky pipes, or outdated electrical work. So what do you need to watch out for? Mismatch finishes, like two types of tile in the bathroom, sagging or bouncing floors, cracks that have been patched but not fixed properly. Also look out for a lack of documentation for who did the work. Always ask for a list of renovations with dates and contractor information. Ask them to see the permits and receipts for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, or structural work. Inquire about warranties on appliances or systems, especially if they were a part of the renovation. A rushed flip might look like a good deal until your first rainstorm or power outage. Make sure what's behind the walls matches what's in the listing photos. The last kind of home you want to be careful of is a home with leased solar panel. Solar energy is great, but only when you understand the financial side. Many Charleston homes have leased solar panels, not owned systems. That lease comes with a monthly payment, and it costs against your debt to income ratio when applying for a mortgage. That alone can drop your loan amount and push you out of qualification. Some companies also file UCC liens on the title, which can delay closing or require legal paperwork to transfer. In some cases, buyers find out too late that they can't assume the lease, or the lease terms are too expensive. Before you commit, ask if panels are leased or owned. If leased, who holds the contract? Request the lease payment amount, remaining years, and whether there's a payout option. See the full lease contract and ask your lender how it might impact your loan approval. Solar savings are smart, but only when they don't block your loan approval, delay your closing, or turn into a long-term headache. If this video helped you dodge a real estate disaster, or if it just gave you something to think about, go ahead and like this video, tap that bell, and subscribe for weekly tips from someone who knows the market inside out. And if you want advice that's clear and honest and straight from the Lowcountry, give me a call. I actually answer my phone. Buying in Charleston isn't just about falling in love with curb appeal. It's about protecting your future. Ask questions, get the inspections, don't skip the fine print, because in this city, the beauty is real, but so are the hidden costs. Still shopping in Charleston? Watch my next video. I'll help you narrow it down and make a smart move. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm Shakeima Chatman, your relocation specialist. Let's find your dream home right away.